This is a power bill, $347 for 1 month. And the crazy part? It went up again last quarter. But some people, regular people, not engineers, not preppers, they don't get these bills anymore. Not because they moved, not because they got rich, because they figured out how to generate their own electricity, right at home. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how that works. A few years back, a guy named Marcus, an electrician from Texas, went several days without power after a winter storm. Hit his state in February 2021. His pipes froze, his fridge died, and his neighbors were all in the same situation. But one neighbor, had lights on, had heat on, had a hot meal. That neighbor had set up a small off-grid energy system. Nothing massive, nothing complicated, just smart. Marcus told me that was the day he decided, I'm never going to be dependent on the grid again. And maybe you're not dealing with storms. Maybe it's just the bill. The feeling that every month you're handing over money you worked hard for something as basic as keeping your lights on. Or maybe you're off-grid, or thinking about it, or just tired of feeling like you have zero control over your own energy. Whatever brought you here, this video is for you. Let's get into it. Solar is the entry point for most people, and for good reason. The cost of solar panels has dropped over 90% in the last decade. A basic off-grid solar setup, panels, a charge controller, a battery bank, and an inverter can power your lights, your fridge, your router, all the essentials. You don't need a massive array. A 400 to 800 watt system can already change your relationship with the grid. And yes, you can build a solid starter system for around $500 to $800 if you know what you're doing. The key numbers to know: your daily watt-hour consumption, your peak sun hours in your region, and your battery capacity. Get those three right, and you're designing a real system, not guessing. If you have land, or you're in a rural area, small wind turbines are incredibly effective, especially when solar isn't enough. A 400-watt micro-wind turbine can run quietly and generate power even on cloudy days when solar drops off. Wind and solar actually complement each other perfectly. Wind tends to be stronger at night and in winter, exactly when solar produces less. That combination is what real off-grid setups are built on. If you have a stream or creek on your property, microhydro is one of the most consistent power sources available. Even a modest drop, with enough water flow, can generate electricity 24 hours a day, continuously, rain or shine, day or night. That kind of consistency is something solar and wind simply can't promise on their own. Here's where most DIY off-grid projects fail. They focus on generation, but ignore storage and energy management. Batteries, charge controllers, and how you size your system. That's the part that determines whether your setup actually works, day after day, or leaves you in the dark at 9 p.m. LiFePO4 lithium batteries are the gold standard now for home off-grid systems. More cycles, safer chemistry, better depth of discharge. If you're investing in a setup, don't cheap out here. Now, I know that's a lot, and I know what some of you are thinking. This sounds great in theory, but where do I actually start? How do I calculate my needs? How do I not mess this up? That's a fair question. And honestly, that's the hardest part. Not the technology, the planning, the sequencing, the knowing what to buy first and what to avoid. I came across a guide called the Energy Revolution System that goes pretty deep on exactly that. System sizing, step-by-step build guides, and the kind of detail that would have saved Marcus a lot of trial and error. Is it the only way to learn this stuff? No. There are forums, YouTube channels, books. But if you want something structured, a clear path instead of scattered information, it might be worth a look. I've left a link in the comments if you want to check it out. No pressure. But if you're the kind of person who'd rather have a clear roadmap than spend 40 hours searching Reddit, it might be exactly what you need. Energy independence isn't a fantasy anymore. It's not just for survivalists or people living off the land. It's for anyone who's tired of waiting for a bill to remind them how dependent they are. Whether you start with a single 100-watt panel or a full off-grid system, the goal is the same: taking back control, and every single step in that direction counts. If this was helpful, drop a comment below. Tell me where you're starting from. Are you fully on-grid and looking to cut costs? Already off-grid and optimizing? I read everything. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I cover this stuff regularly. Real builds, real numbers, no fluff. See you in the next one.